Me sinto completamente contente, posso dizer completamente contente. 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 Me sinto completamente contente, posso dizer completamente contente.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the OzPower podcast. I'm James, here with Pat, and we're at PTC Gold Coast today with two of the most outstanding lifters and coaches in the country, really. Lilley and World Crozier. Gentlemen, thank you. How are we going? All right?
Yeah, really good.
Cool. All right, we just want to kick off. Let's get a bit of a bio, a bit of a profile going on both of you. Where you started, how you got into powerlifting mainly, and I suppose what the journey's been like so far. So starting with yourself, Thomas.
Okay. I started lifting weights when I was 14, and I wanted to do Olympic weightlifting, but it was pretty hard to access. I was about 15, and the club was about half an hour away. It was really expensive. So I was just doing the bodybuilding thing, wanted to be a bodybuilder, and then I found out about a strongman comp, and I wanted to enter that. I've been watching a guy through the bodybuilding.com forums called Dave Parmiter. He's a powerlifter and strongman. He was a strongman at the time, and I tried to enter that strongman comp, but I was too late. So I found out about powerlifting and entered that and didn't look back.
Okay, cool. How long ago was that?
First comp was when I was 18, so about 10 years ago.
Cool. And you're currently lifting in what weight class?
The last comp I did was the 125s at Pro Raw.
Yep.
The next time I compete, I'm not sure. Either 110s or 125s.
There we go. Cool. Your background, Will?
Cool. So when I started lifting, I was in the Navy, and I was 19 and in Canberra. And the guy that introduced me to it actually trained with Marcos when PTC was his garage in Melbourne.
Who was that?
His name's Tom Szymanski. He lives over in Europe now, gone now.
Okay.
But he introduced me to it, and I thought he knew what he was doing, but but really, we didn't really have a clue. So we just went to the gym every day and just did whatever we wanted, whatever wasn't sore. But it was good because I kind of got straight into, I guess, the heavy lifts. So he showed me how to squat, bench, deadlift, kinda, and then just got more and more into it. Ended up at Power Sports Club, which was PTC Canberra and now Burleigh, but went there, had access to way better stuff, got taught some stuff by all the people there, and ended up just growing into it. And then when I got into powerlifting, so I'll go through it all. I went into bodybuilding. I did a little fitness model stint there 4 years ago. Then 3 years ago I did bodybuilding season, and then went sick of dieting. I just like lifting heavy stuff. Like I already had done all that stuff through bodybuilding anyway, and so I thought, why not? Let's make it real.
Yeah.
And so signed up and did Queensland States in 2015, and that led to where I'm now. So through Pro Roll 7, the state titles both years, Pro 8, Pro 9.
Yeah.
And
was it just something that you sort of, you were just naturally strong, like doing the bodybuilding stuff and out of the Navy and what have you? Did you just find that you lent yourself?
I've always been good at deadlifting. The other two took a lot more work.
Yep.
And like I said, our bodybuilding training wasn't really bodybuilding, like the typical stuff that people would think of when they do bodybuilding training. We, like, I told you, I got into it through a guy who was into his strength stuff, so that was already like a big part of training.
Yep.
And just kind of evolved through that. Yeah. Then eventually, just met more and more people who knew a little bit more about it. And
cool.
Now I'm here with Thomas.
So you were straight out of school into the Navy?
Yeah. So left, finished year 12 at 18. 3 months later, I was down at recruit school in Melbourne, and I was in there for 6 years until I got out.
Okay.
Went all around and ended up in Cairns. Got out, became a PT, and we do that full time now.
Yep.
Cool. Also haven't really done anything else.
Awesome. And Tom, you've done, is it a Bachelor of Health Sciences with a major in nutrition?
Yes,
is that right? So you've been doing the coaching side of things straight out of uni, straight out of school. How is this I suppose you coming into PTC Gold Coast, so...
No, I've only been coaching lifting for about 5 years now,
Okay.
so for just a little bit longer than I've had the gym for. So out of school, I went into uni, did my Bachelor in Nutrition. I worked for the government as a community nutritionist, which is kind of broad-based stuff, not one-on-one, more in policy development and research. And then the government changed in Queensland. They got rid of a lot of the nutrition staff. So I had two options. I got a job which was out in Roma, about 9 hours west in the middle of nowhere, or figure out something else to do. So opened a gym.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what specifically were you doing for the government? Like what does a community nutritionist do?
So it's more applying. My job was more applying policy to at-risk communities. So I worked with Pacific Islander and Maori communities up in Brisbane there, and we developed healthy living programs for them, identified a need out there, and yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, very good. So you moved all over the country, well, like in the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, like I said, they maybe took me from Melbourne, was in Sydney, Canberra, little places in between, but they were the main ones I lived, and then up to Cairns for a few years there, and then came down here, because really the move down here was to follow Thomas and powerlifting, because I was like, up there I was just working out of a normal gym, just coaching normal people, and I was like, this is not what I want to do forever.
Yeah.
I want to get more involved in coaching more dedicated people, powerlifters.
Yeah.
And so when Thomas hit me up to come down here, like straight up, that was an opportunity we couldn't really turn down.
Yeah, cool. And you guys the only two coaches here?
For powerlifting, yeah.
For powerlifting.
So there is a guy that coaches physique athletes out of here as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
And Mickey's doing some work now as well with more general population female clients.
Yeah. Awesome. So how many powerlifters do you have here? Like, say, competitive powerlifters?
Oh, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, powerlifting is obviously quite a small sport. Of the community that trains here, probably 60% of them are powerlifters. To put a number on it is difficult.
Yeah, okay. It's quite a high proportion though, 60%. That's pretty good.
We have a good team. Like if you were here when coming into the pro and stuff like that, we had a really good. Like there's just lots of people on it, and it was a really good atmosphere, and it was just really like I don't know, everybody gets behind each other. Cool. It's not like any other gym in that way.
Yeah. Now, we've spoken to a lot of people who suggest the same thing, and I mean, being a part of it as well, we're aware of it down at HQ and what have you. The community side of things of powerlifting is it's pretty cool. Like there's not many, and we spoke about it before, Will, about there's not much negativity, and people seem to root for each other, and you've got guys that are direct competitors almost cheering each other on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I talk to my competitors all the time.
Yeah.
Through Messenger and on comp day and everything. It's just I don't think there's any real hate towards each other.
Yep.
You're obviously on the day a little bit different, but staring each other down. But as soon as that last deadlift is done, then it's everyone's friends again.
Yep.
And at Pro it was the same. Everyone was really close after it, and it was good.
Yeah.
Do you think that helps push you both as far as, you're watching your competitors on social media, you're communicating with them, you're all aware of where you're at throughout preparations?
It helps push each other.
Yeah.
Like watching Sebastian Orr hit his lifts in the pro prep was like, geez, I need to I need to actually take this seriously. Same with this one with Ryan and that. So I mean, like, you can't help but watch to a degree.
Yeah.
And it does push you. Like, but inside the gym, like the community inside the gym, I think that really pushes us more than anything.
Yeah, cool.
Like when you're having a bad day, having Thomas or some of the other lifters here just tell you that you're doing a good job. Yeah. One lift isn't going to do anything, blah blah blah. Just I don't know, just a little bit of getting behind each other, and not getting down about things. I think it really makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So it's a slightly different perspective for Will, because obviously he's at the top, he's one of the best, whereas me, I'm kind of a down here kind of guy. So I get my inspiration from the people in here,
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean just training with guys like Will and Maddie, who are a lot stronger than me, but I draw inspiration from the people that are just coming in and working their asses off, putting their heads down and But some of the strongest people are also some of the laziest or the least hard workers. You know, a lot of the people in here come and train really, really hard, and it's like Will was saying, it's just good to have that community, that atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice seeing PRs in the gym or on the platform, regardless of the level. Yeah. People often forget that it's kind of relative, you know. Like
exactly.
PRs are PR for people. Yep. It doesn't matter how strong you are. That's encouraging, you know, seeing people hit lifts. Yeah.
Having been in both worlds, we'll call it powerlifting and bodybuilding, what are the major differences you think? Because we've had some conversations with people where, you know, bodybuilding is fairly subjective by nature.
Yeah.
You've been
well, it is. You're judged on no real criteria. Yeah. Like there's no, like if you hit a deadlift, there's no one can argue that.
Yep.
It's obvious. Whereas in bodybuilding, you know, I hear about it all the time. Like I lost because it was somebody's opinion or whatever. So yeah, like in terms of judging, there's just. That's what really actually turned me off about bodybuilding. It really annoys me because it is just people's opinions, and you know even though people try not to let their opinion get swayed by media or whatever, like it just happens. It's part of it. Yep. And I don't like it. But
you kind of get that political aspect. You've stepped on someone's toes, they're going to judge you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's not everybody knows it.
Yeah.
It's not talked about.
Yep.
But it's definitely there.
Yeah. And
within powerlifting, even if everyone hates you, I mean, if you hit a deadlift or whatever, there's no arguing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
definitely.
Let's talk about your comps, both of you. So Pro Raw, I always forget, Pro Raw 9 at the Arnold Gym. Yeah. So let us know how you both went at Pro Raw 9, and let's cover your best lifts, like whether it's gym lifts or whatever, best totals.
So Pro Raw was my best comp, my best ever lifts. I squatted 320, benched 192.5 and deadlifted 320. I missed my third attempt deadlift, unfortunately. My best deadlift outside of competition is 330, but for me, comp lifts are all that matter, really.
Yeah, cool.
I don't count them if they're in the gym that much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Pro 9 was best I've done there. Every time it's gotten a bit better, so haven't gone backwards yet. but that was a 355 squat, 210 bench, and 365 deadlift. Awesome. For 930, and hopefully in a week's time, go a little bit more.
Yeah, cool. So we got this probably won't be released for a couple of weeks, but we've got Nats coming up this week.
Yeah.
Don't have to throw the numbers out there, but obviously you want to improve on what you did last time.
Yeah, I want to go 950. So I mean, it's looking good for like 365 and a 375 deadlift. That's what I want. The bench, I'm just having some problems with my shoulder, so it's probably not going to go as good as I'd hoped. But if I can match it, I'll be happy.
Yeah, cool. How many lifts you taken down to Nats this weekend?
I'm not sure. In the order of 20.
Shit.
Yeah, just kind of show up on the day and coach the lifters that are mine.
So obviously, while you're just covering that, obviously a lot of your clientele are online because we see all the time on social media that you're coaching them, but obviously they live interstate. How many do you coach interstate? Like what percentage would be online clientele?
My online clients total at the moment is around 100. And that's interstate, international, but also locally as well. There's people in Brisbane and Gold Coast that it's easier for them to go the online route.
Yeah. And what are some of the top names that you're coaching?
Patrick Morrison is up there in New Zealand, the IPF. Jamie King, he's a top lifter over there. Guys like that are doing really, really well.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Will, do you do online stuff as well?
Yeah. Yeah, so most of my business is online as well.
Yeah.
Coach between 40 and 50 people online, and that includes bodybuilders and stuff as well.
Yeah.
They all kind of jump between the two a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And most of them powerlifters. I'll probably say like 90-95%.
Yeah.
And then there's a few people here in the gym. I coach in person, but there's nothing compared to the online.
Yeah, cool. So is it mostly just programming stuff, or do you do like technique adjustment through video, or?
I'd say the programming side of my coaching is one of the last elements. The success I've had is with the technical side of things. I think that's why I've produced the lifters that I've produced.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Do they ever fly in to do sessions with you, or is it all video stuff?
Yeah, no, the people come occasionally, depending on if they're on holiday or if you've come up specifically just to test numbers or get a session.
Yeah, cool. Yours the same.
Yeah, same. So nutrition, programming, technique via video, everything it takes to get there on the platform or the stage and look good and do your best numbers.
Yeah, cool.
Going back quickly to Pro Raw, you're on Sunday? You on Sunday, you and Baz?
Yep.
What was that like? Because that was insane. Like that battle of the atmosphere at the joint when you guys were essentially going head to head. It was one of you two that were gonna, and you had to deadlift that 365 for the win, didn't you? Is that right?
The second one was for the week.
The second one was for the win. Okay.
And then the third was capitalising on it.
Yep.
But I don't know, like I said to you before, like it was really kind of the whole prep was a bit like not sure. And we were sitting here in the gym, like looking over numbers and like trying to work out, what we're going to need and what we're going to do. It's always running through my head all the time. But no, on the day, it came together really well. And I think by the end of the squats, I was confident that it was mine and it was just a matter of doing it, what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Like it really, like I could tell that he was having trouble, whether it was nerves or whether it was just a bad day. I don't know. But I knew he was off his game in some way. And, he only went 5 for 9. So, I mean, I'd love to see him go 9 for 9 and actually do it properly. But, by the squats, I was really confident. And,
I mean, both of you have got pretty big profiles in the lifting community out here. And we've spoken to, the guys we've spoken to so far, they all talk about, that mindset of having the blinkers on a little bit. Did you notice the atmosphere? Because we were side stage and it was crazy. People were going nuts. That was...
Yeah, Pro was next level, I guess, especially the last one.
Yeah.
And each year it's getting better, so I can't wait for 10.
Yeah.
But, there's just way more people. I could definitely notice it, especially like warming up and the whole cage thing and that this year, crazy.
Yep.
But as soon as I'm actually on the platform, it's... I don't know what's going on. It's just
knocking it out.
It's just the bar and me and kind of thinking of going over my cues in my head or what Thomas had just said to me before I stepped out. Yeah. I don't really hear people yelling or anything like that. Yeah, it's like you said, blinkers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You're different.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a different perspective. Obviously, I was competing, but my job for the day was the coaching.
Yeah, okay.
Competing was just kind of the side thing, I guess. I've been competing for 10 years. I've been to International Federation World Championships from a lot of federations. I've been to national championships from a lot of federations in different countries. And by far, that was the best atmosphere I've ever been.
Awesome.
That Will's last deadlift was the best moment in powerlifting that I can think of.
It was crazy. Yeah, that was awesome. How do you go doing managing that though for yourself, coaching on the same day you compete? You must be running around like a mad bastard at the back, eh?
You just do what you need to do, really.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I don't envy you. That's good. That's good for me. No, but Thomas was like, you were in the 110s originally.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then because of myself and who else was 110? Somebody else. I forget.
There were a few of yous on that day.
Yeah, there was a few in that flight. So Thomas went up to 125s and did that. And, so I mean, it was really... I'm glad you did.
Wait, so...
He puts himself before everyone else really.
Yeah.
Well, the 110s were on Saturday then, weren't they? Did we compete on the same day?
Oh no, you're right.
The
Right, we
110s were on
competed last on the
Saturday.
Saturday.
I jumped to the Sunday so I could be on...
Okay,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
What about sporting backgrounds from both of you? Like, is it just being a case of lifting was it, or rugby, soccer, footy, basketball, anything else that you was growing up?
I was a big fat kid and I hated sport, so I didn't really play that much sport. I competed in freestyle BMX for a while as a teenager.
Okay.
And I still did that while I started powerlifting, so I did that up until
Still
I was
do,
about...
Watch Instagram.
Really?
I ride my bike sometimes. I'm very, very terrible.
To me, it's amazing. I don't think I could ride a bike full stop.
Yeah, so I did that up until I was 21 or 22. I had a bit of an accident and decided that my brain was worth preserving, so stuck to the powerlifting after that. But yeah, not much of a sport.
What was the injury? Because I used to try to coach a couple of motocross riders, and you'd get phone calls every fortnight. You cracked a sternum or broken a wrist.
I just hit my head really bad and got KO'd and concussed and spent the night in emergency through a helmet. So I was like, if I didn't have a helmet, I'd be cactus.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
What is it with that? Like, I've never been an adrenaline junkie, so I don't get it. So I see you guys doing stuff like that, and I'm just like, what the hell possesses somebody to do that? Because it's nuts. Is it the adrenaline?
I don't know. What possesses us to stick 300 kilos on our back?
Yeah.
Sit down and stand up. We're just done, that's all.
What about yourself, Will? Backgrounds?
I was always sporty. Through school, pretty much did everything. Did lots of athletics, rugby league, did like taekwondo and touch football and a bit of everything. And then kind of like in year 12, I kind of stopped it all because I was like, I could best better actually try and learn something. And then I ended up joining the Navy anyway, so it kind of went to waste. And then as soon as I kind of joined the Navy, it was like, it stopped everything because you can't really do much in that first year. You get kind of hammered and that's it. Up until I started lifting. So, but yeah, always been really sporty, always been pretty lucky on that side of things.
Cool.
Always put on muscle pretty easy and stuff. So yeah, lucky that way.
Yeah, cool. Just with the Pro Raw 9 competition, was there anything that you guys noticed on the day that you would like to change? Like we've asked this a few times with competitors. What do you want to see happen in the future?
That's for me. It was great. Yeah, it ran smooth. I didn't have to wait or do anything. There wasn't anything really negative for me as a like from a competitive
standpoint. Yeah.
Like with the crowds the way we were last year, probably it's going to get bigger and going to need a way for some more people to watch and get involved. Yeah, but to me, it doesn't make a difference.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
How about as a coach?
Less horns from the DJ.
That's a pretty consistent opinion.
But no, overall, like Will said, it was so seamless. Like there was nothing that I walked away from thinking, shit, that needs to be different. Yeah, that was a pretty amazing comp. So
yeah, what about the atmosphere of having it at the Arnold's as opposed to, say, like Big Dogs later in the year or even Nationals next weekend that's going to be in the Arts Centre? What do you prefer?
I like it at the Arnold's.
Yeah,
I've got no interest in the Arnold's at all.
Yeah,
but the fact that it drew such an amazing crowd
traffic,
and puts powerlifting out there is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think any other comp, even if it was like crazy good lifters or something, I don't think any other comp would come close to numbers just because of that.
Yeah.
Yep. So to me, more people are the better.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you guys notice the exposure? Like, did you pick up more clientele from it? Did you get feedback from that just purely by having that many people come through?
Yeah, I was flat out for weeks after it. Yeah, was new sign-ups and stuff, not only because of my lifting, but because of the team's lifting and just like you said, just people coming over from bodybuilding and then going like, this is awesome, I'm going to do this instead of bodybuilding. Yeah. So for powerlifting in general, it's great. Yeah. I think it's on the rise and I don't think it's slowing down.
Yeah. I think that was one of the most noticeable things was you look out into the crowd and there were bodybuilders and fitness competitors.
Everything.
People that would never be at powerlifting meets ever. Yeah. So
I had lots of people message me and say that. I say like I was doing bodybuilding, but like it was awesome. It was good to see. Yeah. Just because like I still know a lot of people in the bodybuilding world. Yeah. So that don't really have any interest in powerlifting, but just to have them message me and go like that was that was cool.
It's kind of cool to dispel some of the myths, I guess, around powerlifting as well, because they get to actually see how it runs and how it happens.
Yeah. Especially the whole fat powerlifter thing. Like Marcus gets the 110s and the lighter guys to all take a photo with their shirts off after, and they're all jacked as hell.
Out angling the bodybuilders.
I'm really glad he didn't make us take our shirts off.
What weight did you compete at when you were bodybuilding?
We spoke about this the other day.
Like 80 kilos.
Okay, cool.
Like a little bit less at my lightest. I remember being 79 at one point, fully like depleted and drained of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have to grab the photo off his Facebook
I was
and
gonna say, yeah,
and put it into the video.
There's lots of photos, but it's actually pretty good, like transformation, really.
Yeah.
Because that was only 3-4 years ago.
Yep.
So it's come a long way. Like, who's that? I don't even know. It's like I can't even tell. It's me. I don't know. I'm crazy.
So what would your walking weight be if you were competing at 79? Like what were you in the off season?
90.
Yeah, okay.
Before, I think I started my bodybuilding cut back then at 93 or something, and I wasn't as lean as I am now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a death cut. I definitely did a lot of things wrong, and it probably could have made my bodybuilding experience a lot better, but it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I don't really have any plans to go back that way anytime soon.
Yeah. And what's your weight like now? Like, do you cut for comps?
I went for this one because I'm in 125. So,
cool.
So I'm 115 at the moment, and that's been like hammering a ridiculous amount of food for the last 12 weeks, a bit more. So like I can't seem to push my body past that. It doesn't want to gain much more without me getting just eating crap.
Yep.
So to be somewhat healthy and to get past here, I don't think it's going to happen. So my plan is after nationals, just diet for slightly diet just for a little bit to get some of my hunger back. Just because like eating that much for that long really gets old. Yeah. And then go back to 110 and probably compete at 110 at Pro again, and edge closer to that 1,000 kilo total, and then compete against the best of the best rather than just in Australia. Maybe go over and do some international stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So what are your calories like at the moment?
I can't tell you calories because I don't know, but macros wise, it's 300 grams of protein, 950 grams of carbs, and 240 grams of fat a day, which I'm sure you can do the math, but it's a lot.
It's a lot of food.
Yeah.
How are you getting it in? Like, do you use shakes or are you just eating constantly, just forcing it in?
Yeah, mix. Like all the time, whenever I'm driving here, whenever I'm at the gym, whenever I'm lucky because I just work from home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Yep.
So I'm just eating food like 24/7. Yeah. But yeah, it's not like really healthy, but I try and maintain the main meal at least. Get my veggies in and whatnot. Yeah, cool. And then there's a heap of other crap on top, red frogs and ice cream and everything as well. Just because, purely because you just can't. Calories. Yeah, you just can't. Like, it's just impossible to get that much. Yeah. I'm covering my bases from like a health standpoint, so everything else is just food, just calorie, just energy. Yep. Cool. I'm trying to gain weight, but it's just. I don't see myself being 125 soon. That's for sure. Like a proper 125. I don't know. We have to get somebody to like just wheel me around on a wheelchair to save energy or something. So because at the moment it's just hell. I don't know. I don't know how these guys do it. Yeah. Like I do the diets for some people that are 125s and stuff, and they just seem to gain it really easy. So, but I guess the thing I've got on my side is I stay leaner easier than most people. So
cool. Yeah, cool. What about yourself, Tom? Your approach to nutrition and what have you? Do you just shovel it in?
No. I'm probably one of the people that Will was just talking about, the people that find it really, really easy to gain weight.
Okay.
So I'm constantly fighting to not be 180 kilos, So I only sit around sort of 3,000 calories a day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. And at the moment I walk around at about 115 kilos.
Okay.
Which is pretty heavy for me. I had a couple of hip surgeries last year, and prior to that I was always 105 or less. Yep. So since coming back and training a lot more, because I can train properly now, put on a bit of size, put on a lot of fat, and I'm happy.
What did you do to the hip? What did that have to do?
I had torn labrum on both sides, and all the associated stuff that comes with that, so bone deformities and stuff like that. So the left side had been around for about 4.5 years. I decided to get that repaired, and I booked the surgery. And in the meantime, I sort of said, well, getting the surgery, I'm going to thrash myself. And in the process, tore the other side. So it was a blessing in disguise, because it would have happened eventually anyway. The changes that are already started to occur in the bone that would have torn the labrum eventually. So to tear it while I was waiting for the surgery means I could get them both fixed in succession and now I can squat and deadlift and feel good.
Awesome. And without the need to go through 2 recoveries.
Yeah.
Could have done it once. If you had both done, how were you in a wheelchair for a few weeks?
No. They have you walking straight out of the surgery.
Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, you limp around for a little bit,
Yep.
but it's a pretty quick, easy procedure, and yeah, it's a lot less dramatic than what it sounds like.
Cool. What about yourself with injuries? I mean, you said at the moment you're sort of nursing a bit of a shoulder thing.
Nothing too
Any
bad.
major ones, or you've been pretty mucky?
No, I haven't torn any muscles or done any serious structural stuff. Just the typical powerlifting niggle stuff, just like
Cool.
tightness and things not working the way they should, and just movement deficiencies and whatever. Like, it's nothing. Like, this is probably the worst it's been, and
Okay.
it's nothing really. Like,
Have
I
you
think
had it scanned or anything? Like,
no, I think a few weeks. Like, it's at probably 80% healed now, and I can't really struggle to get it better than that. And I think it's just because I keep smashing it, squatting and benching. Like, I can't really stop right now because I'm competing. But I think I don't know, give it a month after nationals, I have a good feeling that it's gonna be good.
Cool.
So yeah,
What
and
do you
I
guys do
have
for recovery
ages
as
off.
well? I mean,
just gonna ask
obviously
you.
bashes up the body for reps. Is there any specific recovery measures that you're taking on a weekly basis or a regular basis?
Lots of food, lots of sleep,
Yep.
lots of rest.
Yeah.
Try and chill.
Any soft tissue stuff like regular massage?
Oh
or-
yeah,
or-
yeah, I don't know. I'll put it down more to the other stuff, but but I see a physio every week at this point, but usually maybe a fortnightly, and it's just little things. Like, it's just like you said, it's just soft tissue stuff. There's nothing major going on or special. I'm not sitting in upside down in Critter's little sex swing that he's but
We'll have to put out a shot. Yeah, one or the other will work.
but no, I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just like, I think we're pretty big on injury prevention at the gym. Like, you'll see a lot of people in here warming up right, doing everything right. Like, pretty big on pushing people towards that. I'm always going out of my way to push people to do it, and I do it a lot myself. So I don't know.
I was going to bring that up because you've got like a couple of videos and stuff on social media of proper warm-up techniques for your shoulders and stuff. You give the impression that you're very big on mobility and activation stuff.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Both are really, both push it a lot.
Hugely.
But
if you can't move right, you can't lift right.
yeah, as simple as that, really.
Is it more, do you guys do it more from a technique standpoint, or is it more for injury prevention, like pre-ab work, or both?
But
Well,
one-
the bad
one of
technique
the
is
same
injuries,
thing.
right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you, like we were talking about before, with all the 110s breaking around the world right now, like it's, I just don't want to be there. So, I think it just comes down to bad technique. It's just killing people, and I've managed to stay in one piece, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I guess from a coaching standpoint, for me, when we're coaching powerlifting, we're looking at specificity, right? When we're talking about specificity in powerlifting, the most specific things are going to be a squat, a bench press, a deadlift. People will jump to the next level. They'll say, okay, the next most specific thing, say for a squat, is a pause squat, or a deficit deadlift for a deadlift. I say, no, well, we need to, strip that away and look at specificity within the individual lifts. And specificity for a squat is a gold standard perfect squat technique. And not many people have that. So we need to work out, okay, what's breaking down, and it comes down to instability almost all the time. Some sort of shoulder instability, some sort of hips instability, some sort of core instability. And regardless, if you don't have those breaking down, you should be doing stuff to prevent those from breaking down. I think Will and I are both big on the fact that if you can remain injury-free, you can train harder for longer and keep getting stronger, rather than just going balls to the wall all the time, breaking, having time off, and doing it again and again and again. That's just I guess we take a slightly more, I wouldn't say conservative, maybe just a more thinky approach to our lifting.
Yeah, cool.
I think people try and, I don't know, maybe figure out the secret to their program or whatever, but the programs that we do are really, really simple, and because we move right, I think it just all falls into place.
Yeah, cool.
I'm big on the fact that technique, learning to lift better is the best performance enhancer that we have. You know? If you can apply the strength you have to a better pattern of movement, a more efficient, a stronger pattern of movement, then you'll lift more weight.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Internal motivations for both of you. What is it? Like, it's something that I'm constantly impressed with when I talk to the guys, especially the elite level lifters. What is it that's driving you to keep going? Because it's tough stuff. Like, it really is tough stuff. What is it?
Oh God, it's a hard question, isn't it? To pinpoint. I don't know. It's just getting better. I think.
Just a love for the sport.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for me to say, like, to keep bettering myself and stuff, but because I've been lucky with that so far. But I don't know. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
That's fine.
For me, I mean, I love training, but it's not a case of. I've never really struggled with motivation in many areas of life. I'm just not one of those. I'm not very emotional. I'm not very emotionally attached to my lifting. I don't think about it as I need to go and lift. I just think about it as brushing my teeth. You know, it's just.
Yeah, cool.
I come and do it 4 times a week, 5 times a week.
Yep.
There's definitely times where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Like just after comps or even just before comps and stuff, go through that. I'll I don't really want to do this anymore. Don't want to go squat. Don't want to go bench. But just getting it done, and then as the numbers go up, I think that's really the motivation.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
just actually just getting PBs and stuff, and then you're like, there's that fire again.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
There's something really. I wanted to say something really like
Something profound.
that way.
Yeah, I think on a more micro level, like in terms of motivation for training in an individual session, like we were saying, like if you come here and everyone's kicking ass in their session, you feel like shit. You kind of can't walk away from that because you've got that accountability.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching you, and for us as leaders in here,
Yep.
it's important for us to not be little bitches.
Yeah.
I try. Except with knee wraps.
Yeah, but knee wraps as well. That's different. But
I take that one on the chin.
It's okay when he stands up and squats more than anyone else in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. How do you guys keep it fun? Because you've got to enjoy doing it, right? I mean, if you hated it, you're not going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you keep it fun?
As in, like, just training. It's sometimes it gets just over and over. It's the same things. Like, there's only 3 lifts and there's only so much variation and stuff, and it does get boring. But I don't know, just mixing stuff up and just like the accessory work and just trying to having goals, having numbers that I want to like, just tracking progress and just seeing it happen.
Yeah, cool.
There's no, I don't know. This whole fun thing, it doesn't click with me because it's some days it's not, but we just get in and get it done, and then the fun comes when I lift PBs.
Yeah,
You
sweet.
get your numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
To me, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I think I can't really speak for people who don't train in an environment like this, because even though I did for 4 or 5 years, I didn't get really serious about lifting until I opened this place.
Okay.
And since having this place, it's the environment keeps it interesting. We have like Will said before, we have a really good crew of people here, and they make the shit days a lot less shit.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think I learned in bodybuilding, because bodybuilding was probably the first time when I felt like I just definitely don't want to go train, I don't want to get out of bed. But that was the first time when I thought like, yeah, I just don't want to train. And whereas every time before that was like, I can't wait. Like when I finish work, I'm just going to go there, it's going to be great, and it's going to be the best.
Awesome.
Then when you're dieting so hard in bodybuilding, you just don't want to do anything, and it just sucks. And like that's when I learned really like what it feels like to not want to do that, and to kind of just push through and to do it anyway, because motivation isn't always there.
Yeah, cool. What about with you competing side? You guys compete twice a year, so say Nats and Pro Rule. I know you're not doing Nats, but Pro Rule this year. Is that kind of what you aim for? 2 competitions a year?
I think 2 or 3. I think. Well, after Pro, I had to do states to qualify. Yeah, and then did a Tasmanian little fun thing down there. But I guess so.
Yeah.
That would be optimal. But
Yeah.
something always gets chucked in.
Yeah.
It just seems that it doesn't really work. Like you only plan for like maybe 2, but then I know it just seemed that I'll do other stuff along the way.
Yeah. What was the Tasmania comp? Was it like a little push pull or something, or was it a 3?
Wayne Howlett invited me down to just to do a deadlift only there, or to do the competition, but I chose to do deadlift only after the other 2, and
You didn't win.
no, I didn't. No. No, I went down there, and it was just the WRPF Tasmanian state. There wasn't anything big, but like when Wayne asks you to go down there, you do. And no, it was good fun. It worked out really well because Thomas already had it down there for clients, and then we did some seminars down there and got to meet the whole Tasmanian powerlifting scene, so like 10 people, and then it was. It was good, and then I ended up not winning because I thought that I did enough to win and wasn't really paying attention to the scoreboard or anything. And then one of the younger guys beat me in.
By like half a point.
Yeah, it was like half a Wilkes point or whatever. Like, so good on him. I don't know his name, but good on him.
Beat the best 110 kilo lift of all time.
On my best lift too.
You guys both do a fair bit of seminar work, don't you, as well?
Thomas does more than me, but I'm definitely I'm designing a few now. Actually designing one on recovery with the guy who does my nutrition, and just little things I have lined up to do. But it's definitely something I want to do more of. We do some squat, bench, deadlift, little ones here out of the gym every now and then, just to teach people from the Gold Coast what we're about. Yeah. But I think you do more travelling than I do as far as that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do a bit more of that stuff now. So I've got one coming up in Sydney in a few weeks, and then another one in Papua New Guinea a little bit later, and work with the guys up in Mackay quite a bit. So I go back and forth there.
Cool. What are they specifically on? Is it just a sort of introductory sort of thing to powerlifting, or?
Normally it's more advanced stuff and focusing on technique.
Cool.
Focusing on technique, and then going into discussion on programming or injury prevention and tailoring it to all the needs of that specific group.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. So who does your nutrition?
His name's Dean McKillop. Runs. He's mainly like a bodybuilding guy himself. Runs a online business called Flex Success. Okay. He's here from the Gold Coast. I'm good friends with him, and he does whether my diet. Usually just writes a diet for me because I can't be bothered figuring out. But at the moment, it's too much food, and it's just like I'm just trying to jam it all in. Yeah. But yeah, he's been great. He's been on board since the start of the year, so like the Pro Online Prep.
Cool.
And it's made a big difference just because I've always known what I had to eat and stuff, but when you're doing it for so many other people and stuff, you just lose track of it and kind of put yourself last. Yeah. And I always found it kind of let me down a little bit, whether it's just a 1% thing or what. But
even just accountability, answering to someone
definitely
else.
That's it. That's the main thing. Yeah. And he just puts it on paper for me. It's just so much easier.
Yeah. Cool. And what's the situation with Nexus? Because is Nexus your company, not your business? Yeah. Yeah,
it's just the online side of things, and then we have a couple of guys, friends up in Cairns, that we started up there, and then they do the bodybuilding side of it more than me.
Yeah, cool.
But it's mainly just me for the powerlifting stuff, but it's just the name.
Yeah.
So is it there's nothing
entirely online, or is there a gym in Cairns as well? Or?
No, it's online. Just an online. It's not a real place or anything. You can't go there.
Yeah,
it's just our name online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And people can contact you online via social media or email you. You're taking comments on.
But it's heaps easier just to message me personally.
Yeah. Cool.
Because the Facebook page is not my thing.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm a bit shitty with the social media stuff.
Are you both taking clients? Are you still taking on clients, even though you've got fuckloads already? Yeah. And best way to contact you for that? We'll put all this info up, but just so people can find you guys.
Yeah, email or Facebook or any means, I'll get back to you. I see it all.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
With your coaching, is there any specific, I know it's a pretty general question, but specific approaches to coaching that you believe in? Like, is there anything that you see other coaches do that you're like, no, I'm going to distance myself from that style, or whatever? Is there a particular style you apply, like, or that you use?
I guess like the stuff that I don't want to do is the whole like here's a program, follow it,
Yeah.
or like a holistic type of thing, as in like just not doing like I want to coach people. I don't want to give them a program and just say see you later, sweet, that type of thing. Like I'm just not into that because from what I can tell, it doesn't work. I mean, like if you want a program, there's heaps out there, but yeah, as far as coaching goes, like what I do, it's more like I do just give people a program to follow each week into whatever comp they're doing, and then they send videos, and it's all done via Facebook, and it's just real simple, and they just give feedback and use that to write the next week's program, and it just ticks over like that.
Yeah,
And the same with nutrition.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool.
For me, the big focus is on technique, is making better lifters. You know, taking them, approaching it like art. You know, they're a block of clay, and we're molding them into something beautiful. That's the goal with my coaching, is to make better lifters overall.
Yeah, cool.
And I believe that technique is at the crux of that.
Excellent.
Oh, very good. I was going to ask a question, and I'm having a mental blank.
All right, well, I've got one to go on with.
Yeah, it's sort of
because
it'll come back to me
as well. Anything in particular, and I'm not talking about powerlifting specific, but with the fitness industry in general, that's just a frustration. That,
All of it.
yeah.
All of it. For me personally, I try to distance myself from the fitness industry. As I know it sounds counterintuitive, owning a gym and being a powerlifting coach, but I try to ignore that side of things.
It's so big.
Completely.
You're a part of it, whether you try or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to stay in my little powerlifting world and try and be the best at this that I can, because I mean, frankly, I'm never going to branch out into bodybuilding or fitness coaching, figure coaching, or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy to stay segregated in the little powerlifting bubble for now.
Yeah.
I think probably the biggest one jumps out at me, but there's so many. But there's like lack of qualification, just like how bad people are.
Yeah.
And it's not picking on anyone in particular. And I think it's more of a real like industry standard thing that needs to be changed rather than people.
Yeah.
It's just like giving people a qualification and going, hey, you can go, hurt people basically.
Yeah.
And you only have to go to any little commercial gym to see it happen everywhere. Like it's not hard to find somebody that's just doing something real stupid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's the first step that needs to be fixed, but whether it's changing it to like a uni degree or something, I don't know. Like it's just so hard. Like there's no way that I can think of that's like an immediate fix. It's going to be real hard, but I think the fitness industry needs to change that way. Like as in like coaching or PTs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like make them more like physios or something.
Yeah.
That make it more specialized, I guess.
Yeah. Cool.
And then that you can go down heaps, like nutrition, like there's just so many bad everywhere. Supplements, the whole industry is terrible in supplements, and just, I don't know, there's everywhere you look, there's dodgy stuff going on, and people just trying to make money.
There's just no regulation.
Yeah, lack of regulation. Yeah. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But there's lots of stuff going on.
So there'll be no pistol squatting on boasting balls while holding a medicine ball over your head.
I can try.
Secret weapon.
I'll do my best for you.
What about one of the things I wanted to ask you about was music, right? Because I've been told that you're a Dream Theater fan.
The Stella.
Yeah. Big Dream Theater fan?
Yeah. They're coming here at the end of the year, so I'm looking forward to that.
We've got tickets to
Cool.
Melbourne.
Cool.
What kind of music do you guys listen to when you train? What psychs you up?
Man, my approach to that is that on the day I get to choose the music, so I just do whatever's here, which is usually like metal or rap or something is on the background, and then I just lift to that, and I don't really do the whole headphone things and get psyched up at all. I'm pretty calm when I lift, so I don't go out of my way to listen to anything in particular. What I listen to at home, different story. But in the gym.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't have a song where I'm like, okay, put my song on, I'm going to squat. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
What about in general with psych-ups? Because, you see some, I think the most famous one's probably here on KK, the fuckload of chalk smashing them in the back of the head or anything like that. Are you one of those lifters, both of you, that needs that level of psych up, or it's just no?
I've been through that whole cycle. The whole, okay, I need to start getting slapped and then sniffing whatever people sniff, and then I've been through all that.
Yep.
I'm a very calm lifter, and Will is. I think we take our energy, we turn it to focus.
Awesome.
I think a lot of people waste energy on excessive psych ups. And plus, you look like an idiot when you get slapped around and yell and scream and then miss the lift.
Yeah.
What is that? It's really.
I don't know. I think some people need some level of
Wake up.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen it benefit people. Good on them.
I mean, you can be too calm, that's for sure.
Yeah. But I'm totally not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. I think I'm probably one of the most calm people there. Definitely a pro on that.
Yeah.
People, well, even in the warm-up room, people are getting psyched up.
Yeah.
And I think we've spoken about this before. That we specifically try and teach and try and train to be able to switch on when it matters.
Yeah.
That minute before. Because if you keep that kind of adrenaline at that level, you see people on the whole time.
Yeah.
Headphones sitting there. That's fatigue. You're creating fatigue. You
Comes to deadlifts, yeah.
overstimulating.
Yeah.
You just need to chill, and then when the time's right, when you hear your name called, that's when everything's out and you're 100% focused.
Yeah, cool.
And then if you need a little bit of a push to enhance that, go for it. That's personal preference. I don't want anyone hitting me. I'm quite sensitive. So.
Yes. I know I've got Thomas in my ear saying cues or whatever, and then that's just on repeat in here, and that's all I've got. It's not really. I think if somebody slapped me down or something, I think I'll lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And so that's just always the way I've done it.
Yeah.
And
That was going to be my next question, is when you're setting up to lift, what are you thinking? Like, how are you
just
switching
that
on?
over and over.
Just cues.
Yeah, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 cues.
Yeah.
Whatever's been an issue in the prep or whatever that I've focused on, and just gone through that over and over and over.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, just that, and that's where it blocks out all that
Yeah.
crap that's going on, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of trusting your training, your prep.
Definitely, yeah. I think building momentum and building confidence during the prep carries over. Like if I'm missed heaps of lifts coming into it, then I'm obviously going to be more nervous and stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen. I never let it happen.
Yeah.
So I never had it happen.
Cool. Yeah.
But so pretty calm. Always really chill with it.
Yeah.
And even with deadlifts and stuff, I just try and keep it down. I've tried to get it psyched up before. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And even pre-workout and that, I only take maybe half a scoop at the start of the whole day, and then the adrenaline will just keep me running. I'm not one of the people that have one in between every lift, smashing it, trying to over caffeine or something. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me.
There's just more things to change.
More variables, yeah.
You got to try and keep it as simple as you do in training. And
Just get it done.
How about you, Thomas? What are you thinking when you set up for lift? Just the same, you running cues or?
Yeah, but very, very few. I mean, it's all kind of a blur. I can't really specifically think of what's going through my head. Maybe 1 or 2 specific cues that I think are going to help me the most. But it's like we were just saying, you've been practicing this for your 12-week block or longer if you've had an off season, and by the time you get under a squat bar, you should know what you're doing. You should know how to squat and just focus on those 1 or 2 things that
anybody mid-lift is thinking oh fuck, I'm gonna push my knees out. if you're at the bottom of a squat and you're thinking of stuff, I think you're fine.
Don't. Advice to novice lifters getting into it. So some kids just starting powerlifting comes in, or is there a message that you want to convey to anyone out there watching that?
I mean, if I could go back to being 18-year-old Thomas, I'd find a coach that knew what they were doing. They had a proven record, and that's not a call out to try and boost business. I'm a big fan of coaches. Yeah, I think coaching is important. That learning to do things correctly, or at least being educated from the right sources, going to well-trusted sources on how to squat, how to bench, how to deadlift.
It's so hard at that age.
Yeah.
Because I remember just saying, I'm big, I say that to people all the time, and then I think back to when I was 18 and or 19 or whatever, and I'm just I just remember back then going, fuck, I need a coach. They don't know what they're talking about. I'll just lift heavy. I wish I'd go back and slap myself down, but Yeah, totally agree, but it's so hard. It's easier said than done.
Yeah, and don't be in a rush.
Yeah.
Take your time. When I go through sessions, when I do workshops, the first question I ask is, when did you start lifting? People say, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. You say, when are you going to start? No one has an end date to when they're lifting. So why do you need to be the strongest tomorrow? Spread it out. Take your time.
Yeah.
Stay healthy. Learn how to lift well.
Yeah.
Do it for longevity. Yeah.
Exactly. You want to be lifting forever. Don't say this in a short. Don't come out of the gates too hard.
Is there mentally a particular end goal that both of us got? Like, is there one particular number that for some reason you've set your, sights on a couple of years back or anything like that?
Yeah, more than well.
Just to beat Will?
Yeah, so I'll be training forever for that.
I know, like the ones that I said at the start, I'm well and truly passed. So every comp is just like a new target. There's nothing major. Like, I'm going to reach this, and then streamers are going to come down the roof, and it's all going to be over. Like, I don't know. Just every comp, there's a target. Obviously, like I said before, to get to like 1,000 would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's the beauty of powerlifting, though. Like, even if Will's goal is 1,000, as soon as he does 1,000, 5 minutes later he's going to want 1,010.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point.
That's it.
Yep.
Like, I was over the moon to get 930 at pro roll. Like, I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, that was like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So I think, and then straight after it, Marcus is like, if you get 950, you can do big dogs or whatever. And I'm like, all right,
let's do this.
Screw 930. Fucking useless.
So would you do big dogs?
Not this year.
Too short a turnaround?
Oh, it's not that. It's just that I think, I know it would be amazing, but I don't see big dogs not happening again after it. And there's always next year, and then I can hopefully by that stage I can actually be hanging out with the guys and
closer to 1,000.
not just me versus Phil and Luke or whatever. It just I don't know. I think doing a good off season, this prep has really shown me that I really need some time off to work on a couple of weaknesses and that. So I'm going to give myself some time off, do that, come back to Pro Raw 10, and do what I do.
Yeah.
Hopefully win that.
Yeah. What's your next comp?
I'd like to say Pro Raw 10.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the next one that I do.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure from there.
Yeah. Cool. Have you competed since Pro Raw at the start of this year?
No.
No. Was that always the goal, to take a little bit of time in between? Or?
I guess I haven't had a focus on myself, my own lifting, my competing for a little while now. The focus still for me now is to improve business, be better as a coach, and keep growing. I've got a couple of ideas in the works, and chasing those things, working on those things.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if lifting kind of happens in between that, for me, I won't until I put my heart set on Pro Raw 9, so I trained hard for it. If I just say to myself, I'm going to do this comp in September, unless I really want to do it, I won't. I'll just half-ass it because I'll be busy with everything else. I need to wait till I'm ready mentally, and I'm like, I need to compete again.
Yeah, cool.
And then I'll go hard.
Yeah. And then get the team together again.
Yeah.
Push each other.
Yeah.
You can push me.
Yeah. You'll have to chase Maddie's squat.
I'm still at the top for now. For at least a week. Give me that.
I've only got a couple more plugs. So we know a little bit about your businesses, but any sponsors you want to plug, any other business things coming up, seminars, whatever?
For me, I don't have any sponsors. So it's just, I guess, over the next year or two, I'll be trying to travel a bit more and do a few more workshops and probably run some more here. And I've got some stuff coming up online that'll be promoting a bit more, which is exciting. So keep an eye out on my Facebook for that sort of stuff.
Excellent.
Cool.
Well, I'm sponsored by Harris, Steve down in Brisbane. Always pushing his stuff with everybody. All my clients use it and love it. So, I mean, yeah. And then for me, it's the just focus on grinding online at the moment. It's just there's nothing else. Like, I'm going to go off on a tangent or anything. It's all focused on that at the moment.
Cool.
And then these little seminars that we're talking about, and hopefully between us, we can help Australia learn more in general overview rather than just like coaching and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
Like put more content and stuff because not many people in Australia do it. So hopefully we can get down that road and help a broader audience. But it's a hard thing to just go like, oh, I'm going to do that. There's a lot of planning involved.
Especially when they're both very busy at the moment, both have a lot of clients and working hard, and Will's training hard, and I train occasionally.
Is there any message you want to convey to somebody that might be, I don't know, a kid or a lady or, you know, some older bloke, middle-aged bloke my age, just going, oh, I like this powerlifting stuff, but I'm scared to go in there and train with the big boys. I think it was Josh Taker who spoke about it, with where some people are like, oh, Critter, mate, it's Critter. I'll go get stronger and then I'll come down to PTC or I'll come down to this powerlifting gym. Anything you want to...
It's so backwards. It's so you come here to get stronger. You come here to feel part of a team and part of a community. I think we've done a really good job in this gym of creating a welcoming atmosphere even when people walk in on a busy night and people are screaming and squatting 300, that they can still feel welcome. Yeah, cool. And you know, you can have Will on one monolift squatting 350 and across on the squat stand someone squatting 30 kilos. We don't care what weight's on the bar here. And you know, in a powerlifting focused gym, any good one is going to have that emphasis on community. Yeah. The fact is, these things are businesses as well. They want to grow. If they're doing the right thing, they'll be really welcoming these people. You know? Yep. So yeah, don't be afraid. You're not going to get as strong as you could in the commercial gym as you would training with people that are stronger than you.
Yeah, cool.
I've had heaps of people say that to us. You know, those little squat, bench, deadlift seminars and stuff that we run here. They come in and then they're like, oh, you know, I train at Worlds, but I just come here to learn how to deadlift. And next minute they're leaving Worlds and they're coming and they're like, you know, like it only takes a little bit of like they experience that a little bit, and it's straight away it's clicked that we're not that scary. Yeah. You know, we lift big stuff, but we're friendly too. So I think everybody not having headphones on and not staring each other down and coming and saying hello when people walk through the door, as opposed to the other commercial gyms where it's like that and it's a bit intimidating. Yeah. I walk into other gyms and I'm just like, it's just like,
it feels cold.
Yeah. It's like everybody just, you know, nobody wants to speak to you. And, you know, if I do like a heavy squat or something, it's almost like everyone's judging me rather than like going, oh, that guy's, you know, what's he doing? You know, he's got to have some secrets. But here, you hit 50 kilo squat or some shit, and if it's your PB, then everyone's cheering, so it's great.
Sweet.
So
yeah, cool. You know, we've got a really perfect example of a guy in here at the moment who has been doing powerlifting training in his own gym for like a year or two, and it's kind of not gotten all that strong. And he's come here, and since then has added hundreds of kilos, it feels like, to his total. He's going so well, and he's just going to keep going. Like, he's going so strong so fast. He's gone from 240 kilo squat to 300 in like less than 12 weeks. Okay. And he's pushing now for comp up here, GPC Spring Cup, and he'll go really big at that, and he'll just keep on going. Yeah. And it's the perfect example of, you know, putting him in an environment. He wasn't even necessarily training with people stronger than him initially. He was just training with the guys, you know, doing squats on squat night, and just having that push in that community and that feel is, yeah, he's really. Plus, you know, the coaching and the programming as well that comes with it. But I'd say that's, you know, the performance enhancing effect has come a big part from the environment here.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I think everyone's scared that they're going to rock up at Spring Cup or whatever in the first comp, and then, you know, they're going to get beaten by 500 kilos. It's just, I just hope everybody can realise that it's not like that.
Yeah. It's so backwards. It's like if I started playing tennis, I'm not going to rock up to Wimbledon tomorrow and hope to beat Federer. But people seem to have that idea with lifting because they already lift. It's like, well, I already lift. Yep. You know, and that guy squats 300 and I'm squatting 200, so I'm not that far away from him. So I'm just going to get a little bit stronger and I'll keep catching. People lose sight of the fact that it's a sport and that you get better at the sport by doing the sport, and not just training for it.
Yeah. I've heaps of bodybuilders say to me, like, message me online or in person stuff and say like, oh, you're so strong, like you're hitting like way better numbers than I ever could and stuff. And I'll be like, you'd be surprised, like, because they're already fairly strong. I see them hitting like, you know, crappy little like bodybuilder half bracing and stuff like that, hitting great numbers. And then I'm just like, you'd be so surprised if you did like a powerlifting 12-week block or something and did a comp, like what your numbers would actually be. Like, you're not that far off. Like, it's just, you have to practice actually doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you hit a 1RM in the gym just off a whim. It's way different to actually peaking for a comp, doing it properly and everything like that. Like, like, people just need to give it a go. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
the takeaway message.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. It's a good one.
Yeah, real good one. If you're thinking about it, get involved, come down, PTC Gold Coast. What's the address here, mate?
3/445 Oxley Drive, Runaway Bay.
Cool. We took some footage beforehand, so we'll post something up so that
Yep.
people
People can see the gym.
interested can have a run through the gym and have a look at it. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
any more from you, mate?
No.
Cool.
Covered a lot.
Excellent.
Boys, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Thanks
for
for having
us.
us.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.